Sometimes we act like a fool, not aware we're troublemakers. Sometimes we try to be cool, not being givers, only takers. Stop for a minute, stop and breathe for a minute. Don't get over your head, try to listen instead, won't you? Think for a minute, who you wanna be for a minute. Don't get over your head, you're like everyone else, aren't you? You could gain from being a bit nicer, know when to talk and when to shut your mouth. You're so moody, always such a fighter. Try to open up your mind sometimes, you'll be just fine. You'll be just Sometimes we yell when we're sad, and sometimes we laugh when we're afraid. Sometimes we smile when we're mad, and some lines we wished we'd never said. Stop for a minute, stop and breathe for a minute. Don't get over your head, try to listen instead, won't you? Think for a minute, who you wanna be for a minute. Don't get over your head, you're like everyone else, aren't you? You could gain from being a bit nicer, know when to talk and when to shut your mouth. You're so moody, always such a fighter. Try to open up your mind sometimes, you'll be just fine.
Hello. It is Friday, September 15th. I'm restarting my computer, which is why everything's blue right now. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my writing and my reading, because I've been doing both. Not as much as I wanted to, but I am still doing both. I am still writing. I have actually gotten to a point where I am again rewriting a lot of the scenes that I originally had when I first started writing this project. And so I'm actually not upping my word count nearly as much as I'm replacing what I wrote initially with my initial ideas. I'm now writing them so that they actually apply to the story. So that's cool, and I'm enjoying that. But I actually, for one of the first times in this project, I hit a snag and I couldn't come up with what to write next. I'm writing a scene. My main characters are running a race. They're running a marathon. And I got to the day where they've been training for this marathon for months. It's kind of been a background thing, honestly. But then they end up running this, and I kind of blanked, and I was like, I don't know how to write running a marathon, because I've run marathons before, so I have experience doing this, but I have no idea how to write out running something like that. And especially since it's one of my main characters, it's their first time running this marathon. They're running a marathon, and so it's kind of a big deal, honestly. So I needed to come up with a way that it still had an impact. And so I think I came up with one, but honestly, it took me a good, couple days to figure out how to do it. And I don't think I've run into that yet with this project, really. I've just kind of been writing what comes to mind, and I just keep going and keep going. And it took me a while. So that was interesting. That I think I hit my first kind of snag in this project, which is, I'm really impressed that it took this long. But yeah. So yes, that's my little writing update I got going. I am sitting at about 95,000 words or so right now, but I'm pretty sure, as I'm looking at least 5,000 of those are stuff that I'm going to be rewriting. Just whether or not they end up happening, how I originally planned on them happening or not, is still a little up in the air. But right now, I am going to do some homework, because I have done almost all the homework for one class so far, and it is Friday. So I'll do Sunday night, and then I need to work on my other class. But I also wanted to talk to you about reading, because I'm almost done with 1:35 a.m., which is the third book in the Five Nights at Freddy's Fazbear Frights series. This is the first time I've run into a story that I'm just not vibing with. And it's the third story in this one. If you've read it, you know which one I'm talking about. And I'm almost done with it, but I have 3 chapters left, I think. This isn't where I'm at. I'm actually a little further. I was listening to the audiobook at work. I'm this far from the end of this book. I have barely anything left. It's pretty dramatic. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty damn dramatic right now. So I'm probably gonna try and finish this tonight or tomorrow morning. But I do want to finish my homework tonight, hopefully. It is 8:20, but yes, if you can hear loud noises, John is playing Star Wars. He's loving the game. It's the new one, the Jedi Survivor, I think is what it's called. He's really loving it, so that's good. I've come up with some ideas for some readathons to do, because I do want to keep reading even while I'm in school. But I'm done with that one, and so the next, I have my audiobooks, my ebook still going, which is The Nurse by Valerie Keogh. I'm really enjoying this one. I'm halfway through. It's interesting. It's not what I expected. It's not as action-packed, I think, as I expected it to be. There isn't nearly as much, murder as I thought there was going to be. But I have a feeling we'll get there. I have a feeling that something's going to happen. Our character just met someone who is very suspicious, and I have an idea of who this person is, but I don't know, so we'll see. But then after that, I have a whole TBR that I just wrote up, so let's see. The next book I'm going to read out, right. The next book that I think I'm going to jump into is Alias Emma, because it's a short book, but I've been reading several horror books, I guess. Maybe not really. But that'll be 2 horror books, so then I'm going to read this one, which is a more of a thriller / like adventure. They have to get across the country in 12 hours. It's the UK, it's not the US. Because I don't think you could get across the US in 12 hours unless you took a plane. But after that one, I'm going to read a couple library books that I have. I don't think this one's going to take me long. We are going to Oktoberfest tomorrow, which basically means we're going to go drink. And have some good German food. Probably American German food, I don't know. But yeah, so that's really my update for right now. But yeah, so good. I'm gonna sit down and do some homeworks now. Okay, bye. All right, so I have an update. I took a break from homework and I finished 1:35 a.m. The Five Nights at Freddy's book, which I just talked about. I gave this a 4.75. I think this is the first time I haven't given one of these a 5. I love these short stories collections. They're so creepy. They're just the right amount of creepy and weird and just disturbing. But the last book in this series just did not wow me. I actually think I'm going to end up bringing it down to like a 4. Because there were 3 stories and the first 2 were excellent. But the last one just didn't work for me. Maybe I did give it a 4.5. I did. I gave it a 4.5. So we're going to end up giving it... sorry, but I'm going to end up giving this a 4 out of 5. Because I really enjoyed it. But the last story just didn't vibe well with me. The last story felt like Stranger Things. And unfortunately for me, it's just so overused. It's just... And that's nothing against the writing. That's a personal thing. I'm not a big fan of Stranger Things. I'm weird. Unpopular opinion. I know. I got it. I know everybody hates that. But this is really good. This is also the last one I own. So I'm going to need to go to half price. So I've gotten, I think, all of these actually at half price, maybe? I don't remember. But I need to pick up the next one. And I do listen to the audiobooks on Scribd because they're all on Scribd, so why not? But like I said, the next book that I'm going to get into is Alias Emma. So that will be next, I think. And then I think after that, I'm going to jump into and try and finish Shorefall by Robert Jackson Bennett. Because I am behind. I wanted to finish that book like 2 months ago, and I haven't because I read Founderside, which is the first book in that trilogy. Shorefall is the second book in the trilogy. I love Founderside. It's so good. John's read the entire trilogy and absolutely loves it. But then I also want to try and read a little bit of The Nurse every morning, see if I can finish that, and I think that's how I'm going to start approaching my Kindle Unlimited books, just so I can get through them. And I think after Shorefall, so Shorefall is a kind of a cyberpunk sci-fi fantasy type story. I think I'm going to jump into The Swell after that by Ali Reynolds. And then I have some library books I'll be reading kind of in between too. After we'll see. If I do something lighthearted, I'll read The Prince and the Apocalypse, which is a YA apocalypse story. I think it's a romance, actually. If I don't want something lighthearted, I'm going to jump into Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. And I'm going to do a whole reading vlog on that one, of reading that book, because that book is a chunker of a thing. I'm very excited. But, yes. You're good? Okay. So yeah, but that was my break from doing homework. I'm going to get back to reading my textbook on developing the research study. It's fascinating stuff here. Fascinating. But I'm gonna get back at it, and I will talk to you probably it'll end up being probably tomorrow. Okay. Because it's 10:30. I realized I didn't update you on my writing though, because I did do some writing today during the day. I wrote 1,300 words. I wrote a solid amount. Because like I said, I've been kind of stuck for the past couple days. I didn't write much yesterday, honestly, and I ended up playing around with a couple old fan fictions instead because I couldn't come up with what to write in my romance book. And I opened up my co-written fantasy book and just went, nope, I do not have the headspace for this one. Unfortunately, which I need to switch, and I need to do that. But I did get some words written today. I did the thing. I know before I said I was having a hard time and I kind of am in a slump, and I am in a little bit of a slump, but the problem is right now where I'm at with this story, I don't exactly know what's happening next. And that's worrisome because I like knowing what happens next. So I need to figure that out. I have an idea, but not positive. So we need to play with that a little bit and see what happens. So yes, this is where my planner versus pantser thing doesn't pay off. It's usually the ending, honestly. The ending has always been one of the hardest parts for me. Like, I know how it ends, vaguely speaking. I don't know how it gets there exactly. I mean, I know what needs to happen, but I have to get there. I also really need to go for a run tomorrow, because I think that's going to help me with getting things done during the day. Because right now I am having a lot of trouble getting things done during the day because I haven't been going for my runs in the morning. Because I'm tired. I'm very tired right now. Okay, I'm going to go now. Talk to you later. So I'm officially 8 chapters and 50 pages, 59 pages into Alias Emma by Ava Glass. It's cute. It's a good book. It's a fun adventure story. I think I missed somewhere how old the main character is. I really don't know. But it's all about being a spy and trying to save this guy, this doctor's life. And it's just at the very beginning of it. She's still trying to convince him to follow her and be like, hey, I need to save your life. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, I got shit to do. And she's like, I know you do, but they don't care, so they'll still kill you, so you should come with me. And he's like, nah, I'm good. So she's still trying to convince him that like he's being targeted by assassins, which he is. We do see it. So far it's good. I like Emma. I really like it. It's a little predictable, I want to say. Not predictable so much as like things happened and I'm not terribly surprised, but it adds to the tension of the book. This one is only, what, like 300? Oh, that's the next book. So there is a sequel to this. It's called The Traitor. So, fun fact, she lives. But this book is under 300 pages. It's 269 pages. So, honestly, I might just sit down and read this book tonight. It is 10 o'clock. I might just try and finish it because I can. I finished all of my homework today. I've got a YouTube video playing for background. I had a glass of cranberry juice. We went to Oktoberfest today and I had a stein of beer. I haven't had an Oktoberfest beer. I got my sweatshirt and we got our pins we get a new pin every year we go to Oktoberfest. But it was good. It was fun. We met some friends there. But yeah, I'm just kind of feeling like chilling and reading for the rest of the night. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like seriously, there's 220 pages I think in this book I need to read, and I'll finish it. So if I don't finish it tonight, I'll finish it tomorrow. I knew this was going to be a quick read. I'm very excited for it to be a quick read. I'm really kind of warm right now, so I might change out of this, but it's so comfy and so soft. But then if you can probably hear John playing, he's playing Jedi Survivor downstairs, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. But I think I'm going to try and pick up and finish Shorefall after this, which I won't finish in a couple days, but I do have the audiobook, so I'll listen to the audiobook and make some progress there. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do either The Opportunist, which is a library book that's due. I have 2 library books that are due that I'm hopefully going to finish this weekend. So I have a manga and The Opportunist. So let's keep reading on this one and I will update you guys later. I did no writing today, but honestly I'm feeling okay about it. I'm not in really a writing mental state. I'm really just not. So yeah, it's okay. But that's alright. Okay, I'm gonna get to this. I'm tired. I didn't sleep well last night, so I could have bed early too. I did it. I finished Alias Emma by Ava Glass. I really liked this one. I gave it a 4.75, 4.5, somewhere around there out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Was it perfect? No, but I honestly really enjoyed this book. I will continue with this series. This did remind me of like female 007 mixed with a bit of Jason Bourne. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I know my hair looks like a mess right now. But I'm sitting here looking at my TBR and I'm trying to come up with a book that I can kind of start before bed because it's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to head downstairs to my vibe cart and pick out a book that I can read because none of the books on this shelf up here are speaking to me. This, my friends, is why we have a vibe cart. So let's go down there and see what I can find. Alright, vibe cart. You might be able to hear the crickets. They're outside. Let's see. What are we feeling? I have no friggin' clue. Okay, so I'm kind of leaning towards the housemaid. So take that one. Oh no. Lust for Blood. I do want to read this one as well. Anything down here? Not right now. And then, you know what? I'm gonna add Vicious to this. So these are the 3 I'm gonna try and decide between, and I'm not gonna decide. I'm gonna have John decide. Hey, can you come here for a sec? I need you to make a decision for me. I need you, sir, to please pick a book. One of these three. Please. I can't decide.
That one looks pretty.
This one?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what they're about?
A Lust for Blood, I'm guessing, is going to either be about vengeance or there's going to be vampire-esque.
Yes, there's vampires. This one is thriller about household secrets. This one's kind of the movie that I keep asking myself, Knives Out. That one's basically supposedly Knives Out. This one's a villain story.
Like they are the main character?
Yes.
Do that.
You want me to do Vicious? Alright, Vicious by V.E. Schwab it is. Watch, it's not what I think it is.
Yeah, right.
Alright, this is the first book in a duology. Here's our description. And we'll get going. This, my friends, is why we have a vibe card and a fiance who picks my books half the time.
You say you don't wanna get in trouble, that you're doing fine cause you got me. I don't wanna break your little bubble, but you gotta wake up to reality. Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are a proof of failure, you just gotta let them flow without judge. There's so many ways to be happy, you can do whatever you like, you don't have to be ready, you just gotta trust the right, don't have to be scary, you just gotta follow the light, you're able to be happy, you can do whatever you like, you don't have to be ready, you don't have to be. I see you hesitating while you're waiting, like somebody's gonna give it to you. You gotta chase it, gotta believe it, you gotta go get it for yourself. Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are a proof of failure, you just gotta let them flow without judge. There's so many ways to be happy, you can do whatever you like, you don't have to be ready, you just gotta trust the right, don't have to be scary, you just gotta follow the light, you're able to be happy, you can do whatever you like, you don't have to be ready, you don't have to be. You don't have to be ready, you don't have to be. You are like me, and I'm like you. You are like me, and I'm like you. There's so many ways to be happy, you can do whatever you like, you don't have to be ready, you just gotta trust the right, don't have to be scary, you just gotta follow the light, you're able to be happy, you can do whatever you like, you don't have to be ready.
Alright, so I have now cleaned the desk and I wanted to show you something I forgot I had. So this is an old game that we actually, Kelly and I believe, found at half-price bookstores. It's called the Storymatic. And what it is it's a bunch of cards for writing stories. Like, they're story prompts. There's two cards. There's gold cards and there's copper cards. And basically the point of the game is you pick two gold cards and use those to create a character, and then pick two copper cards, and that is like the goals of the character. So for instance, if I were to go in here and draw two gold cards, and then 1, 2 copper cards. What I would have is I have a trespasser with very bad breath. And it's a hiding spot a hiding spot is discovered, and it's a wrong number story. So instantly I'm thinking wrong place, wrong time, someone who just got up, just got out of bed, and they got a wrong number call, but the person doesn't believe them that it's a wrong number call, so they are hiding from somebody, and they end up being discovered, and its whole thing could be a thriller or something like that. So these are kind of interesting prompts that I think I want to try using at some point to work on. I want to learn to write short stories better. So, and the nice thing about this is there are so many cards in here that like this could be a whole series. And the box says over 6 trillion stories. So yes, and I got it for $10. So yeah, we're gonna give this a shot and see what happens. But yeah, so we're gonna give it a shot at some point. Not right now, but at some point I'd like to. Right now I'm going to get everything set and type out my homework for this upcoming week. It is Sunday the 17th, so that's what I do on Sundays during school, and I try to keep up with everything. And yeah, so that's what I got, and I will talk to you guys later. I would call this productive because I cleaned off this desk. It looks so much better now. So much better. So it took this long. It took, what, 2.5 months? But I reached 100K. And I've also hit an impasse. I don't know the scenes that I'm writing. And it really bothers me because I'm so used to knowing what needs to happen and what like needs to occur. But I'm kind of making some of these scenes up as I go for what fits. And I'm like getting halfway through a scene and being like, I don't know what comes next. I don't know, and it's so weird. But guys, I hit 100K. As of right now, according to Dabble, my book is 408 pages. I haven't finished it. I actually haven't even gotten to the climax. For those of you who are new, hi, I'm Sam. I am a chronic overwriter. If you can hear things in the background, John is playing Jedi Survivor. So, loud noises and stabby stabs. With lightsabers. I don't know what I'm writing yet. I've come up with some of the like what happens in the chapters, but it's making it all happen that I'm having trouble with right now. I'm on chapter 19 of 42. Yeah. Okay, to be fair, at least one of those is, like, epilogue. If not 2 of those are epilogue. I think I got a little too ambitious on this project. So, we're gonna have to play with this. I'm just gonna keep writing, but... like, the scene that's happening right now, I knew it needs to happen. There is a chapter that I put in that I'm almost wondering if I should delete. Okay, if I complete the scene that I'm currently writing, and it's still only like a 3,000 or 4,000 word, a 3,000 word chapter, that's still a lot of words in a chapter. There are a lot of chapters. But they're not long, because I'm alternating points of view. That's why there's so many chapters. Is I'm alternating points of view between my 2 main characters. In this book, it's Katie and Zeke. Yeah, I gotta, I'm still working on it. But I really like where I'm at because it's at the point where he realizes that he's falling in love with her. And it's very cute because he's never done this before. Because he's my player character and he doesn't know what to do about it. And he's like, So, yes. I love what's happening right now. I'm really excited about this. But I can't go back and think about what happened already. I'm thinking about what's happening now, and I like it. But I gotta figure out where this one scene is going, because it's gonna bother me if it's not done. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm just talking right now. I'm gonna go read a book, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye. Alright, and I'm back on Tuesday morning when I'm uploading this and realizing I didn't do an outro. But I wanted to talk a little bit, very, very briefly, because this is already a longer video than I normally post, about what I was struggling with last night. And I was struggling a lot with the fact that overwriting has really, it means that I'm spending a lot more time writing the story. And I get that, and that is a curse of being an overwriter, but I always worry that I'm going to miss something, that I'm going to forget a little detail that's in my head when it comes to this story. I'm not going to stop writing the story just because it did hit a higher number earlier than I thought. I am probably going to try and write slightly shorter chapters until it reaches the climax, where there are going to be slightly longer chapters again. I did a lot of kind of relationship building, especially earlier on in the book, and I think that's why my chapters ended up being so long. That being said, none of my chapters are longer than like 15 pages according to Dabble. So it's not too bad, all things considered. But we'll see. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with it. I'm so happy with where I'm coming at this book. And as much as I said I was struggling, after I turned off the camera last night, I played around with dialogue, and I ended up writing an extra 300 words of dialogue just because I had it in my head. And so I wrote it, and now I have the next chapter started. So I think I might force myself to move on from a chapter that I am stuck on, because at some point, usually, I'll get to a point where it's like, oh, something needs to happen before so I can do this. And so I'll have to go back and I'll add it in, and I'll use this chapter as kind of a place where I can do that. So, yes, I have some ideas, but I'm not positive which direction I'm going to go with them yet. So, that being said, I'm very excited. I'm very happy. And I also started running again. And so I actually went for my longest run yet this morning, and it was 5.6 miles, and I'm having a hard time walking, so yay. I did not read a book last night. I have not been listening to Shorefall. But I did finish several books this week. So I finished the Five Nights at Freddy's by Bear Fights, 1:35 a.m. And I also finished Alias Emma. What was the other book? It's right over here. Alias Emma by Ava Glass. And I enjoyed both of those very much. So yeah, I would call this actually a very successful week. Very successful weekend. And I have tomorrow off, so I will be doing a lot of stuff tomorrow. I will be pre-filming quite a bit, and I need to get down and start doing my homework, because I have not yet started this week. But things are going. So I need to go get ready for work. I'm gonna upload this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, you know, the usual stuff. I really appreciate it when you guys do. I'm trying to keep up with comments and such. I'm a little bit spacey sometimes, so I'm sorry. I'm working on it. And I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, keep reading, and keep moving forward. Bye!